I sped up the rhythm of my fingers, as if I were in an invisible workshop, without clay, but full of intention. Each movement was an attempt to improve my experience, to extract more from that experience that, suddenly, became pure fun. It was then that I looked to the side and Ethan, with his direct manner, said, "Don't just watch. Come help your aunt finish this soon." He came in smiling, and I murmured, almost in a whisper, "Circular movements, slow and focused, above the outline, enjoy listening to everything." I've always had some bad luck in staying firm in love, but looking back I think it was positive, Being able to enjoy life the way I always wanted, with the freedom to give myself to whoever I wanted and had good intentions. At 43, I was a cartographer of myself, drawing internal maps, discovering new paths and accepting the detours. I lived alone in a brick house on Almond Tree Street in Willow Creek, a town where the breeze carried secrets from the countryside and the walls had ears, but pretended to be deaf. Willow Creek was a place where time seemed to move more slowly, where stories were told in whispers and looks said more than words. It was a refuge, a place where I could be myself, without rushing, without judgment. And there, in that brick house, I found peace and, at the same time, a certain restlessness that kept me alive, always searching for something more, always drawing new contours for my existence. My body, a map of ancient curves, wide hips like an orange mountain at sunset, melons that descended gently, two velvety hills where time had planted marks of resistance. My skin, the color of roasted cashew, held stories of sun and insomnia. That afternoon, the heat stuck to my skin like molasses. I was lying in the hammock in my room, my dress pulled up to my thighs, my fingers tracing routes in the damp valley between my legs. I called it topographical study. Mapping reliefs, pressures, finding out where the earth shook. The fan hummed in the background when the door creaked. Ethan, the nephew of the house, was 19 years old and froze in the doorway. His green eyes like a beautiful forest fixed on my index finger, which was still pulsating on the plank, red and swollen, like a fruit about to fall from the tree. "Hey, Ethan." He swallowed his voice, a copper wire. The hammock swayed as I sat up, my dress slipping down to cover half my thighs. "Do you think geography is just maps on the wall, Ethan?" I joked dryly. "Come here, I'll teach you how to read coordinates." He walked forward awkwardly, smelling of coconut soap, as he knelt in front of the hammock. I took his hand, the rough palm of someone who was weeding a field, and guided it about an inch above the plank. "This is the Tropic of Capricorn," I murmured, slowly dragging his fingers upward. "And here," I paused at the curve where it glistened with humidity, "is the equator." He took a deep breath, his eyes fixed on my belly as I drew lessons. "Latitude is pressure, longitude is rhythm." His hand trembled, but he followed the path to the epicenter, where the heat was already boiling and the Greenwich meridian. I let out a suppressed groan when he hit the spot. "Studious and confident, it's right here," Ethan gasped, fascinated. "And how do you measure altitude?" I smiled, wrapping him in his shirt until his face was a hand's breadth from Greenwich. He explored it for a moment with his tongue, but as soon as we spoke properly, he dove in like a hungry traveler in an oasis. I arched my back, my fingers tangled in his curly hair, while he explored reliefs with the dexterity of someone deciphering hieroglyphics. In the midst of the whirlwind, I glanced at the open window. Outside, a jurima tree swayed in the wind, its purple flowers silently testifying to what the exposed brick house now knew. "Circle," I instructed, guiding his head with a firm hand. "Slowly, so you can find north." As I was finishing teaching and guiding him in my own way, it was like a low-intensity earthquake, gentle, prolonged tremors, until my body dismantled into tectonic plates. Ethan leaned back on the cement floor, his face shining, proud as a professional who had found the treasure. "The next class," he said, adjusting his dress with trembling hands, "is on erosion." He laughed, the sound echoing off the walls, while the setting sun dyed the room crimson. Willow Creek would continue to whisper, of course, but that night, as Ethan walked home whistling softly, I learned that some maps, like some levels, were better when disobeyed. The afternoon was coming, and I was studying geography even more to give him tips. I was pulsating with joy. I wanted to teach more. Now, resting again, I took out my cell phone and stayed for a few hours. He, attentive in the room, with his cell phone too. I started to have fun, the door ajar, my skillful little fingers on the Greenwich Meridian. I could only imagine how to start inserting the tool inside. This time, I was smarter than ever. The fabrics were close to the headboard, and I had free access, just by approaching like a professional and placing them the way I instructed. I was focused. I started to attract attention. I gave a soft and loud shout just to break the ice and attract what I was looking for. He appeared like a marathon runner, similar to the Z-boat, in the corner, lurking in the doorway, watching my every move on the meridian. His tool, which had been put away earlier, was now going to start making sense to use. I looked at him from afar, and a low sound said the following. "Hey, Ethan, I accidentally spilled some water, and it's dripping outside. Do your job carefully and come start what I'm waiting for." I've been through this before, so I needed him to listen carefully to my coordinates. C. Don't be hasty. Haste is the enemy of perfection. When I opened the map, the tool came slowly, as if he had understood my words. Still damp, I started to smile and pick up the melons that were falling smoothly. At one point, I asked him to increase the pace a little more so I could test it. He couldn't hold it for long. I think it was the first time he had done a new job. He didn't take the tool out, he just left it there. I had to run to clean it up, because I hadn't told him about that part. I looked at the floor, then grabbed a cloth and went to clean it. Meanwhile, he tried to put away the tool, which was still very firm. It was one of the best classes I've ever taught. I can guarantee that to you. Keep watching the videos on the channel. Did you like this story? So, leave a comment telling us what you thought, and, if you've experienced something similar, share it with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you don't miss any new content. Here, we always bring life stories, reflections, and real experiences, all with great sincerity. Thank you for watching until the end and for being part of this journey. See you in the next video.